Hi, I'm Melty Muse and welcome to a new video. Today I'll be reviewing these watercolors that were sent to me by Woomer. They come with a really lovely swatch sheet that I think is watercolor, but it's a bit thin, so it did warp a little. But it's not that much of an issue because it's there to showcase the watercolor swatches that you do on them. It also came with 2 travel-sized brushes and thick watercolor paper. Now, with the travel-sized brushes, they are the ones that hold water in them, but I did not use them throughout the video because I just don't like how short they are. I know they're meant for the intended purposes of traveling, but I don't really like to take watercolors with me when I'm traveling, so that I'm just going to use my normal paintbrushes. However, I do see how useful and handy they would be for somebody who does in fact travel with paints. The bristles were quite nice and I didn't see any shedding of them, so they do seem to be of good quality. As for the watercolors themselves, I actually found them to be really nice. They're like really smooth and I did not notice any chalkiness when using them. These paints were also quite pigmented and I found that no 2 colors were the same, so that's pretty good. I would definitely recommend this for people who want to start out using watercolors and want a wide range to work with. All that being said, I'm not an expert with watercolors, so take anything that I say with a grain of salt. But in my opinion, they're really good and I'll definitely be using them. Despite having other watercolors, this is just something that I'm gonna keep on my desk because it's so convenient and I can just reach for it whenever I want. So I decided to draw Hatsune Miku today. I wanted to do some kind of like photo card or like postcard kind of thing because I thought that the watercolor paper that was included was just like the perfect size. It's so nice. I like the size. It's definitely like it's not overwhelming. I feel like if it was bigger then I would be so stumped on what to draw because I'd be too scared. I don't know. I feel like watercolor paper is so precious because of like how expensive it can get. Just to mention, I did not use watercolor throughout this entire illustration because I did not trust myself to be able to produce something like great with just watercolor because I'm still quite new to the medium. So I ended up using a whole like bunch of different mediums. I used pencils, alcohol markers, acrylic markers, and of course these paints, which are the main focus of the video. I really like how the sketch of Miku turned out. I think she looks so cute, but I did notice later on after I had lined this drawing that her hand was too big. So if you can, just ignore that. Could have just been something that if I had kept quiet no one would realise, but I feel the need to say that I do in fact realise now that that hand is too big. But you know what? It's still cute. So it is what it is. I also wanted to mention that I now have memberships on my channel. There are 2 levels. The first one is fish and then the second one is shark. Maybe down the line when I become a little more professional on this YouTube app, I'll add another one. But for now, there are 2 and you get exclusive perks like seeing exclusive videos that are made just for members. You get to use fun emojis of my illustrations. You know, all the fun stuff. So if you want to become a member, check it out on my channel. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, back to the drawing. I'm still experimenting with how I want to line my illustrations. I don't really like to do line art because I feel like my sketch is always better than the line art itself. And it's quite frustrating. So I need to just do a bit more. Maybe I can make a video on like how I experiment with it. But I also don't know if that would be fun, because would you really want to watch someone who doesn't know what they're doing with line art? I don't know. But it could also be useful for other people who also don't know what they're doing with the line art. We can struggle together. But you know, it is what it is. Also, you don't have to do line art. Like, I can very much just not do line art, but I just want to know how to do it well. And I feel like when I'm doing watercolor, I kind of need line art as like a guideline in a way, but oh well. Right now it's just a learning experience. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with watercolors now. I kind of struggled with the hair. Like, you can see how lovely and pigmented the watercolor is, and I honestly didn't expect that. I was so shocked. I was like, wow. But they really are pigmented. I didn't like how I did the hair at first. You'll see that I go over everything that I did because I tried to shade it with watercolor, and then I was like, I don't like this, so I just kind of scrapped it and went over with the same blue again to just make it a bit more bold. It was a really lovely experience using these paints though. Like, it definitely rekindled my love for paint in general. Like, I've not been using acrylics in a while being like maybe a week, but as someone who draws every day, I like to use different things. At the moment, I've been really into alcohol markers, but yeah, this experience has left me wanting to use more watercolor because it's so fun. I want to get better at it, you know? I think this has made me like need to get better at watercolors because it's just so fun to use. I love using a paintbrush and I love texture, and you know, as watercolor has kind of, I'm not sure I'd say watercolor has much of a texture. It's more so the paper. So as someone who likes that, I think I should definitely do more of this medium and explore more, find out techniques and all that. But yeah, look at how beautiful. Like, I'm coating all of it with that same blue that I went in at first. Like, watercolor is so unique because if you layer on top, it gets more saturated. I guess I must sound like so silly to someone who knows a lot about watercolor and how to like tame it in a way, but it's just, I find it so interesting because it's just so cool. It's so cool. Moving on, when painting her shirt, I was a bit stumped because her shirt is mainly grey. Like, there is some blue, but I felt I didn't like this grey colour that much, so I tried adding some splashes of like different colours, like pink, purple, green, and I think it just made it look really muddy, but you know, it is what it is. We learn. Anyway, as this is a semi-review of these watercolor paints, sorry. I think these are amazing if you are a beginner. I'm not sure like how I would rank it for someone who's more experienced. To me, these watercolor paints are really lovely, honestly. I'm not sure I have much negative things to say. Apart from the brushes, I did not enjoy the brushes, but like I said, I can see how they would be useful when traveling. I don't really travel with paints, so that's not going to be me, but I'm sure that to other people, the brushes are great. I love the case, the little box that the watercolors come in. It's so cute. I put some stickers on it after this recording. If I can get storage on my phone, I will show a picture here. But yeah, it's so cute, so convenient. I've got it on my desk and it's made me want to use paint more. So I think that's a pretty good, I think that says a lot as someone who doesn't use watercolor. Also, I'm not sure how I managed to do this, but I completely forgot to continue coloring her headphones. I was too excited about like using pencil on her hair that I just completely forgot about the headphones. As for the pencils that I'm using, I'm just using the Arrtx Colouring pencils, and I used Ohuhu Markers for the skin. Also, I'm very much still experimenting the theme of my channel, like the theme being like aesthetic, not like videos, more about what my channel looks like. I'm still trying to make it coherent and just all come together. So if there's like new things or like changes from videos or just on my channel page, just know I'm trying to do the best I can at making this a great experience for all of you. But yeah, that being said, thank you to Woomer once again for these wonderful watercolors. I really love them and will be using them again. And thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the video, the illustration, and I hope that you drew along with me. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for 2K. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Thank you. I am so appreciative of all of you and all your lovely comments and all that. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much and bye bye.